So I'd like to welcome you all here to this Calgary regional session, and I'll just quickly go through and introduce you to our board. They're sitting up here today for approximately 5 minutes, and then when things start, we'll move them all down where they can be near the drink. So Tom Strong of Ellis Don is Vice President, Al Prowse, Dan Newflees, Ian Trudeau, and the latest board member, we're pleased to announce, is Pietro Ferrari from George Brown. So that's our board here today. We unfortunately couldn't have Paul Stocco and Paul Loretto join us, and they send their regrets. But it is good that we've got the majority of our board here with us. So what about CanBIM today? What can we tell you? Well, we're doing these regional sessions, have been highly successful. This is the most popular one to date. And we think by now, as we're about to close in on the cycle of regional sessions, that we understand their need more and more within the BIM community. We always wanted to have something that was for the members. And making it regional allows us to fine-tune the needs to that regional area. And by your presence here today, we are sure that the theme is what interests you, and we are certain that you're going to be thrilled with the presentations that we've got. So it's an all-time high attendance of 85. CanBIM membership. Well, presently we have 55 members, and as a rough take, in each of those organizations, we believe we have about 1,200 that are actively involved in using BIM-enabled technologies in some facet of their daily workflow. So that is a large group that we are drawing from, and we're encouraging you all today, if you are CanBIM members, that there are many committees to join. And if you're not, then become a member, because there are many committees to join. As we look at the displacement, we can see where we have our membership, considerably large corporate membership of larger organizations, but still we have great representation of small and medium enterprises. And as we know, it's these groups that do a lot of the heavy lifting in our industry. So we want to encourage those ones to continue to support. Over the last period of time, we've increased our Lincoln membership in our group, and that's increased 30% since our last regional session, and we have 195 followers on Twitter. And a little bit more on Pietro. He is the professor of architectural studies at the Center for Construction Engineering Technologies in George Brown College. And Pietro is going to take over the chair of the Education Committee. And from our board meeting earlier on, we're quite excited as to some of the things that Pietro and the group of members who are educationally based are going to contribute. So we're in our 4th year. We kind of discounted 2008 as we just got going. So 2009 was when we started, so we're in our 4th year. And we continue to build as being the business voice of Canada's BIM community. That will always be what we're focusing in on. How can BIM be used effectively in our industry? We're continuing to build strong linkages with both the BSA and Building Smart Canada. And of interest is the Building Smart Alliance has established a task force for a vision of what NBIMs will be in 2021. And it's represented by Canada by 2 people, myself and John Hill from Building Smart Canada. We also have a relationship with the emergent ACE-BIM, the Alberta Centre for Excellence Building Information Modeling, primarily exploring the productivity with the goal of inspiring, enabling, and supporting the use of BIM-enabled technologies across the entire supply chain in Alberta to make a better, productive Alberta construction industry. And today, John Lurdyke from Productivity Alberta is at the back. Put your hand up, John. If you have any questions, John and I share on that board as well, and he'll be able to help you out with any questions you have on that. We talked about the role of committees. Last year we realized that the power brokers at CanBIM are the committees. And in that we structured it that the board is at the bottom. So CanBIM is very much a top-down organization. Some days the board is really just the glorified hood ornament or the public face of CanBIM, but really it is the committees that are driving CanBIM. So you'll hear us repeatedly, individually and from the platform, and when we get to mull around you, that we need these committees populated. We need our community to drive BIM. It's not going to come from a mandated standard. It's not going to come from an association or some group telling us this is how you shall use BIM. It's going to be from each and every one of you working closely together, even if they're from competing firms, to come up with solutions that make BIM not only practical but effective in our organizations. That's at the heart of what we want to do at CanBIM, is bring us all together. There's going to be plenty of work to go around. Dialogue can't do all the projects in the world, and so we know that we have to share that pot. But if we can work together, as we do, and Bruce and I work very closely together, we come across common things. So if we can all do that, then the industry will be the ones to define how BIM is used. As well, we have an opportunity in Canada to be global leaders. We need to seize that challenge, and CanBIM is going to help people get to that point. We have a diverse community. We have diverse climate. Where else in the world can you go from balmy weather in one location to anything but balmy weather in another? We have it all here in Canada. We have great diversity, and I think that we can exploit that to our advantage, that people will seek out Canadian BIM talent ahead of everyone else. So for that, we're planning to have a strategic plan put together that'll take us from 2013 through to 2018. And in that, we want your input. So the committees are chaired by board members. If you're on a committee, if you've got any ideas as we begin to move forward to the end of the year when we're developing the strategic plan, we want to hear them. We want to hear from you, and we want your support. So these are exciting times that we're in. This is going to be a game changer. The reality is our industry will either survive or it will perish. And we have a choice to make. And I think by your attendance here today, you've put yourselves clearly on the side of survival, and survival in a way that is going to enrich, make a much more engaging and a much more exciting architectural, engineering, construction, owner-operated community. So with that, enough of me, and we're going to depart ourselves from the platform and turn it over to Bruce McCollum as the session chair to take you through the rest of our day. So thank you very much.